Hi, and welcome back. I'm John Dawson. One of the most common questions I get is surprisingly simple. What do you actually do all day? There's this quiet assumption that retirement is either endless vacation or endless boredom. The truth is much less dramatic. Honestly, the first thing I notice when I wake up is that I don't always know what day it is. There's no alarm, no urgency in the air, no low grade anxiety humming in the background. The morning belongs to us. Today is a random Tuesday. I woke up at 7:30. Not because I had to, just because my body decided that it had had enough sleep. Every year around this time, my wife and I do what we call March Marathon. It's basically a 30-day reset, like a detox. Clean eating, no alcohol, regular exercise, home cooked meals. So far, I'm down 5 pounds this week. Nothing extreme, just steady discipline. I go downstairs, I make coffee, and when I say make coffee, I mean I make coffee. I care about the beans, the grind, the water temperature. It's almost meditative. Then I empty the dishwasher, I make breakfast, and listen to the news. It's slow, it's unrushed, ordinary. Later today, we're taking my wife's car in for routine maintenance. After that, Trader Joe's, maybe Costco. I used to hate Costco because of the crowds, but on a Tuesday afternoon, it's manageable. And that's one of the underrated perks of retirement. You get to live in the off hours. Every single day we walk, 10,000 steps, rain or shine. And we've done this since we were married. We don't drive somewhere to walk, we just open the front door and start. Most places in the world, I found, have a front door. And that makes it simple. Our neighbors know us as the walkers, and we know them as the neighborhoodies. There's something grounding about being the couple that walks every day. It's steady, it's predictable, and human. We're usually back in time for a late lunch, and after that, the afternoon opens up. I try to play disc golf almost every day. I live near some of the most beautiful courses in the country. I'm not there chasing trophies. I'm there for the trees, for the flight of the disc, and for the quiet. It's competitive enough to keep my mind sharp, but peaceful enough to calm my nervous system. It's become part of the rhythm. And then there are just the normal homeowner realities. Right now I'm battling squirrels in the attic. I've tried traps, exclusion doors, floodlights, even an AM radio blasting talk shows up there. They're unimpressed. I'll probably have to call a professional. Retirement doesn't eliminate the inconvenience. It just gives you time to deal with it without the panic. Now later tonight we might go see a movie. We have one of those subscription plans where you can see several movies in a week. We use it often, and it feels like a little luxury. And then we're usually in bed by 10. We've turned our sleep into something of an art form. Total darkness, automated blackout shades, temperature set to an exact 66 degrees, no TV in the bedroom. There's only 2 activities in that room, and one of them is sleeping. That's a normal Tuesday. And there's just very little structure. We have a shared calendar for dinners, church, travel, or seeing friends. But most weeks might only have a few entries. The rest is fluid, and we just decide as we go. One thing that surprised me in retirement is how creative I've become. After 25 years as a creative professional, I assumed I had emptied that well. Apparently not. Since retiring, I've started a publishing company, written books, launched multiple YouTube channels. I've considered picking up the guitar again, maybe learning piano, maybe watercolor painting. The drive didn't disappear. It expanded. Do I ever get bored? Of course, especially on rainy days when disc golf feels less appealing. On those days, I read, I clean, I plan travel, I think. Boredom isn't an emergency. It's just space. People sometimes ask how much of my time is spent producing versus just living. And I don't really separate the two anymore. Writing is living. Walking is living. Reading is living. Even fixing a squirrel problem, for me, it's living. The difference now is that I'm not producing for someone else's timeline. Sundays are slower. We try to keep a rhythm of working 6 days and resting on the seventh. Not rigidly, just intentionally. A reset. A reminder that we're not machines. And socially, I do miss aspects of the workplace interaction. But the further I get from it, the more I realize how much of it was contextual, purpose-driven, and utilitarian. Now, our social life revolves around neighbors, old friends, church, small group, fewer interactions perhaps, deeper ones. One of the most underrated aspects of retirement is not having to report to anyone. Listening to your body, listening to your inner voice in the quiet of the morning, there's no performance review attached to your day. If someone is afraid retirement might feel empty, I would say this. My average day now feels richer than my average day did during my career. And I loved my career, but there was always an invisible tether, a boss, a client, a target. Now I get to decide how full or how quiet the day becomes. My internal drive hasn't decreased, it's just been redirected. Instead of climbing a career path, I'm designing a retirement path. And that feels fundamentally different. You're not staying in your lane, you're choosing the road. And yes, there are still responsibilities. Property management, tenants, turnovers, the occasional, the tenants, toilets, and termite scenario. Retirement is not passive, it's just self-directed. And if I had to summarize my days in one sentence, it would be this. Every day feels like an open field. It's not chaotic, not empty, just open. If any of this resonates with you, I would love to hear what your days look like. What do you imagine they might look like? And if you enjoy these conversations, consider subscribing. I'm building this channel slowly and thoughtfully, one episode at a time. And as always, thank you for tuning in to John Dawson Retirement.